From WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Tuesday, June 4th, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugart. Tonight, a final graduation for a Catholic school that will soon close its doors forever. We were there for the emotional program at McAdoo Catholic School. Plus, Ann Gownley has the latest on the 10th annual hike and bike event at the Greater Hazleton Rails to Trails. In sports, Beth Mensinger has the latest on preparations for this weekend's Weatherly Hill Climb, which will be broadcast live right here on WYLN. And meteorologist Joe Garbacek tells us if we can expect more of the sunshine and comfortable temperatures. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. We begin with a drug bust in Hazleton tonight. 7 people are under arrest after the raid on this apartment building at East Diamond Avenue and Arthur Street. It started just after 6 o'clock this evening. Police Chief Frank DeAndrea says it's been under investigation thanks to public tips.
It's the culmination of months of detailed investigation by the Attorney General's Drug Task Force, of which that's the Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit, who is instrumental in this. But so this is an Attorney General case that is spearheaded by the Hazleton Narcotics Unit.
So far, the names of those arrested were just released. We'll have them for you in a moment. Several other people were handcuffed on scene but released after it was determined they were not involved. DeAndrea said the investigation was assisted by the AG's office.
Multiple and constant calls and complaints about several residences on Diamond Avenue, 454 to be one of them. In the past, there have been people at public meetings that were actually almost irate with me, explaining how blatant this drug dealing was and why aren't we doing something about it. And I smile inside knowing, oh, we're doing something about it. But at the same time, I can't ever openly come out and say, it's under investigation, don't worry about it.
Now, the 7 were being arraigned tonight, though at airtime it wasn't clear where. A female officer was called from another department to search the female suspect. The raid attracted a large crowd of onlookers on East Diamond Avenue tonight. We have the names of 4 of the defendants: Juan Santiago, age 40, of Hazleton, also 40-year-old Antonio Santiago, and Fred Geddes, age 31, also from Hazleton, and David Lee Hall, 27 years old, from the city of Hazleton. In other news tonight, emergency crews were called to a hazmat incident around 6:30 this evening. It happened on the exit ramp to McAdoo at mile marker 138. Now, these are photos courtesy of the McAdoo Fire Department. A tractor trailer carrying a transformer struck a Jersey barrier and was leaking oil on the roadway. The exit ramp had to be closed to allow for the cleanup, and one lane of 81 northbound was down to a single lane in that area due to that mishap. Fire companies from throughout the greater Hazleton area converged on the Eckley Miners Village this morning after flames broke out at a home inside the historical community. Ann Gownley has the details.
This morning, a fire destroyed the home that George Guerra has lived in for nearly 86 years at 40 North Main Street in Eckley. Guerra was woken up by smoke detectors in his home and found the back of his house completely engulfed in flames.
The fire sirens awakened me, and I couldn't see anything. The smoke was so thick, I didn't know where the hell I was. I didn't know where my door entrances were or anything. So thick in my kitchen. That's where I was sleeping because I have another bed in the front room. I just happened to be in the kitchen. And I had trouble finding the kitchen because I never saw smoke so dense, so heavy. But I finally made it out the door.
A man working outside was alerted by the fire by a Schwann employee and helped Guerra get out of his home.
We came back up and seen the man at the door, but he was going back in. Couldn't see nothing behind him because there was that much smoke. But my partner, he went in there with a hose. I mean, a water hose didn't do much to do nothing with this fire. But he did the best he could, so we had to get out. And he kept the old man out safe, made sure he had no animals in there, you know.
Guerra says with the smoke alarms installed in his home and alerting him to the fire, they also helped save his life.
I hope everyone would get fire alarms, everyone. I have a couple of them spread throughout the house. So several of them went off because the smoke was tremendous throughout the entire house.
Foster Township and Freeland Fire Departments responded to the scene along with surrounding departments after Foster Chief Michael Spock called for a third alarm. With the low water pressure in Eckley, tanker trucks were also called in to help. One firefighter was taken to the hospital for heat exhaustion.
Well, with the heat and the low water pressure, it was very difficult. That's why we called the third alarm for manpower.
Guerra lived alone and the other half of the house was occupied. Guerra now plans to stay with family. An electrical malfunction was suspected as the fire's cause, according to fire officials, and a state police fire marshal was called in to investigate. For WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann. Well, yet another church consolidation. 3 Catholic churches in Frackville will merge effective July 1st. Gary Perna has that story.
The announcement came at Mass this weekend that St. Joseph's, Annunciation BVM, and St. Anne's churches will merge together but will remain open for Masses and services as of now. The announcement was made by Father Robert Finland, pastor at all 3 churches. He read a letter to the parishioners from Bishop John Barris of the Allentown Diocese. Today, Finland spoke with WYLN about the announcement.
For about the last year and a half, we've been meeting and discussing really what to do with our pastoral situation here in Frackville. The real needs that we have in Frackville, how better to serve those, and also financially how to make that work for our future. And as we discuss that in meetings with each other and in conversation, we began to talk about the need for us to become one parish together.
According to the Diocese of Allentown, St. Anne's has about 370 parishioners, Annunciation has about 685, and St. Joe's has about 843. Father Finland said many were not surprised about the news.
I think it somewhat depends on the person. Really, this process started back around 2005 or 2006 with the Diocesan Synod. So there have been a lot of discussions over time. And more recently, from my arrival here, as we began to talk about it, again, we've had about 15 general parish meetings for people to come to. They've heard about it in the homilies and things. We've done a newsletter to try to get everybody caught up on where we are with things. And so I think for those who have been coming to those and discussing things, obviously something that they've been part of.
According to Father Finland, the 3 parishes have come together for one big fundraising event which will take place in the first week of August. Father Finland hopes that as a community they can come up with a plan to keep the Catholic faith strong in Frackville. Reporting in Frackville for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. The final paving of Broad Street from West Hazelton through Hazelton is expected to take place this November. That, according to PennDOT project manager Pat Fritzke. Fritzke was at this morning's downtown committee meeting and told us a lot of work is being done as of now to complete that project on time. As many know, both sides of Broad Street on Route 93 between Hazelton and West Hazelton are currently under construction. We spoke with Chamber President Donna Palermo about those changes to Broad Street.
The bottom line is going to be that it will be a very beautiful corridor project with new streetlights, new sidewalks. Safety is the main concern, the turning signals. So we're happy with the way it's been going so far. However, there have been incidents and occasions where there have been some problems, but PennDOT is working with us on that. The contractors are working with us on that.
With the project rolling down Broad Street and not expected to be completed till November, it's a cause for concern for FunFest committee members as the annual FunFest parade and events take place in September. FunFest and all its activities mainly take place on Broad Street, and Palermo says there will be a special meeting with PennDOT to discuss how to handle the event while construction continues.
We will be meeting with PennDOT in July to just go over all the details, how we could button down all the areas that will still be under construction at that time. But as we did last year, PennDOT worked very well with us, the contractors very well, and basically we went off without a hitch last year. So we're looking for the same type of cooperation this year, and I have no doubt in my mind that we'll get that.
Now, any business that is having issues with construction is asked to contact the Chamber at 455-1509 or else call PennDOT directly. WILN told you yesterday when word broke that the contract for the former MnSEC facility in downtown Hazleton was not being renewed when it runs out in June. This morning, members of Hazleton's Downtown Committee discussed this latest development. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce has been working over the years to remove the facility by traveling multiple times to Harrisburg to talk with the Governor's administration and the Department of Corrections. Chamber President Donna Palermo, who took those trips, received a standing ovation this morning from committee members, saying that all of the trips and meetings have finally paid off.
Naturally, this is something we've been working on for almost 3 years now, specifically with Representative Toohill to close this facility here. So it was really great news to get that phone call. That means that they will not have millions of dollars coming in for this pre-release and Pearlies and everything else that went on in that facility.
According to Palermo, there's still a chance the county or federal government could provide funding to the facility if they choose, but she does not believe that will happen. She says Luzerne County is well aware of the issues that arose from the facility being in downtown Hazleton.
We've spoken to the county manager over a year ago. Representative Toohill had a commitment from him saying that they would not send anybody down here from the county, so we're going to hold them to that. We're going to still be in contact relationships with Congressman Barletta on the federal side, just to make sure nothing falls through the cracks there. But again, really great day for Greater Hazleton.
Now, if that halfway house should move out, Palermo says they will work with the owners of the building to find a suitable tenant to move into the downtown. An electrical short caused a fire which displaced residents of the Interfaith Heights complex in Wilkes-Barre last night. Fire Chief Jay Delaney says 14 have been displaced for a period of time. A woman lives in the apartment where the fire started, but she wasn't home at the time. 10 units were damaged and will be shut down for repairs. 7 of them were occupied. The attorney for one of 2 men accused in the August kidnap, robbery, and beating death of an Ebervale man has asked Luzerne County Court to throw out evidence against him. Breon Devon Judon is one of 2 men accused of the beating death of Aaron Resnick, who was found lying beaten on Carson Street last August. Resnick died a few days later in the hospital. His attorney, Allison Kazmarski of Kingston, filed 11 pretrial motions requesting suppression of statements he gave police. The motions claim he was coerced into those statements. Judge Richard Hughes will decide. 17-year-old Mitchell Detus is the other defendant. They are charged with homicide, kidnapping, robbery, and conspiracy. Luzerne County is trying to get a suit against it from former Chief Public Defender Al Flora moved to federal court. Now that's because the suit references the Sixth Amendment's right to legal counsel. There are 3 plaintiffs, Flora, and 3 criminal defendants looking for representation by the Public Defender's Office. Flora sued the county and the county manager Robert Lawton in county court a year ago, claiming the PD's office needed more funding. 2 months ago, County Council confirmed Lawton's nominee, Steve Greenwald, to be Chief Public Defender. Flora requested a federal injunction to be reinstated as Chief Public Defender. Lawton fired Flora April 29th. The American Civil Liberties Union of Pennsylvania represents Flora and the 3 others. 2 brothers from Freeland are facing drug charges. 30-year-old Benjamin Baker is charged with manufacture, delivery, or possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance and related counts. 28-year-old Eric Baker is charged with possession of a controlled substance and 3 counts of use or possession of drug paraphernalia. The charges are the result of a state police investigation. Troopers say they saw each selling marijuana from the front porch of their home at 992 Walnut Street. On April 17th, police served a search warrant at the home and seized drugs and paraphernalia. 30-year-old Sarah Bartholomew was also charged in the case with possession of a small amount of marijuana. A Chickasha man is in county prison for allegedly running a meth lab in his bedroom closet. 32-year-old Stephen Rodney Ryder was arraigned today on 4 counts of reckless endangerment and 1 count each of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. He's in prison on $15,000 bail. Police say Ryder had tubing, hoses connected to bottle caps, funnels, a glass bowl with white residue, and other things consistent with methamphetamine production. Ryder was arrested when a woman was denied the sale of pseudoephedrine at a pharmacy in Nanticoke. While the southern Midwest cleans up from tornadoes, in the west, the big problem is forest fires. Mike Mickle and the INN News team has more.
Firefighters are making major progress against a big wind-whipped wildfire in Southern California. But there's more work to go for the more than 2,000 firefighters on the job. Eric Dodd has the latest on that and the other western wildfires.
The Powerhouse Fire has burned more than 32,000 acres in the Palmdale area north of Los Angeles. An official with the Angeles National Forest says the fire has destroyed a half-dozen homes and threatened about 1,000 others. 3 people have been injured. Helped by higher humidity, firefighters gained a lot of ground going into today's battle, increasing containment from 40% to 60%.
What a difference a day makes.
Evacuees from 2 communities are being allowed to return, but not everyone has a home to return to.
I lost everything I own. I don't have any resources to rebuild my things over again.
Over in New Mexico, the fight continues against the Tres Lagunas fire, which has scorched about 8,000 acres. It's also prompted the evacuation of about 100 summer homes. It's just 5% contained. And in Colorado, a small fire prompted evacuations in Jefferson County. I'm Eric Dodd reporting.
Pennsylvanians favor privatization of the state stores. That's what a poll released this morning shows. The poll done by Susquehanna Polling and Research found 55% of registered voters in support of privatization, 41% opposed. The number who would be more likely to support liquor privatization grew to 69% if penalties for selling to minors became stricter, and to 68% if displaced workers could find jobs in the private sector. 61% said revenue from the sale of the LCB retail and wholesale systems should fund local schools. The poll was conducted from May 6th through the 8th among 873 registered voters. 50% identified as Democrats, 39% as Republicans, 11% as other or independent. Susquehanna generally does polling for Republicans. Election officials can bar reporters and others from polling places in Pennsylvania. That's what a federal Supreme Court means. The High Court refused to hear an appeal from the Post-Gazette when its staffers were barred from voting sites in Allegheny and Beaver counties last fall. State law bars anyone except voters, election workers, and registered poll watchers from coming within 10 feet of entrances to polling places on Election Day. The court's lack of action means the Pennsylvania law can stay in effect unless the legislature changes it. Well, what is the future of Hazleton? A panel discussion will tackle that subject tomorrow night. The event is being sponsored by the Greater Hazleton Historical Society. It will be held tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Penn State Hazleton campus in room 115 of the Evelyn Graham building. Panelists will include Dr. Jamie Longazelle of the University of Dayton, Dr. David Sosar of King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Mark Katcher from the Hazleton Standard Speaker, Renee Barron from Hazleton Power, and Dr. Beatrice Garcia Glick from Penn State's Hazleton campus. Moderators are Charles McElwee and Ann Bowder. The event is free of charge and open to the public. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to get our first check on the forecast. Meteorologist Joe Garbaczyk is in the Weather Center right now. Joe, today was a beautiful day and we'd like to see more like it coming our way.
Absolutely. It definitely was a nice day today, a nice day on our way for tomorrow. And I have some changes in the forecast for this upcoming weekend compared to when I talked to you at the 5 o'clock hour. I think you're going to like those changes. We'll talk about them coming up next.
It's known as the Tricky Triangle, a track whose sum total equals a challenge like nowhere else.
Smoke is boiling between Busch and Johnson.
It is Pocono Raceway, where the first race was won by a king. Every race is full throttle to the photo finish.
Virtual dead heat.
And wrecks are not the end, but the start of a comeback. This is Pocono Raceway, where history is measured in right angles.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, announcing how everybody can make the Grand Central connection with the grand opening of our second location on Route 93 across from Berger Family Dealerships. During our grand opening celebration, take part in our weekly $300 Hazel Park gift certificate giveaway. Grand opening price is up to 50% off, free delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing. And remember, shop Grand Central, where your house becomes a home.
The Red Cross presents a night of laughs, luck, and comedy at Jannetty's Best Western in Hazleton, Friday, June 7th at 7 p.m. Cash prizes will be awarded throughout the evening up to $20,000. For more information, call 570-823-7161. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, they have their best ever offer from Hers potato chips, tortilla chips, cheese curls, or pretzels. Your choice. Only $1.88. WYLN TV 35 is looking to hire a highly motivated, energetic salesperson for the Hazleton and surrounding areas. We offer a competitive salary and benefits package. Call 956-5772.
Well, just a few days ago, there was yet more severe weather out toward the west and around the Oklahoma City area. And there was actually more severe weather prior to that. Of course, the tornado that passed through Moore, Oklahoma, that one was a gigantic one because the width of that was 1 mile wide. But this one was even bigger than that on May 31st. 2013. It was an EF5, which means it had winds in excess of 200 miles per hour. The path width, get this, 2.6 miles. So it was double the width of the one that actually hit Moore, Oklahoma. And its length was a total of 16.2 miles, and it was on the ground from 6:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time until 6:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Closer to home right now, we are quiet, our Live 35 Skycast Doppler, and we'll stay quiet right through the rest of the overnight hours. It's going to cool down once again. Another comfortable night in store for our area tonight. 57 degrees, our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Pressure now coming in at 30.09 inches of mercury. And again, we've been dry right through the daytime hours of today. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 69 and 45. That's below the average high and low of 75 and 53. 98 and 40, the records still stand. Sun comes up tomorrow bright and early at 5:33. Sun will set at 8:32 in the evening. So we woke up this morning on a chilly note, upper 40s, but yet comfortable. I think tonight will be very similar to what we saw last night temperature-wise. And we did get up into the 60s and some 70s throughout the daytime hours of today. So a comfortable day today, another comfortable day for tomorrow. 59 now in Berwick, 60 in Jim Thorpe, 58 in Shenandoah, 58 degrees in Monoy City. Satellite and radar looking very nice. We're going to continue to see clear to mostly clear skies across our area through tonight. And as we head into tomorrow, plenty of sunshine heading in our direction. And then going into tomorrow night, I think those clouds will be on the increase across our region. And then going into our Thursday, we're going to bring in some showers into our area, some rain around, and we're going to have to deal with a little bit of some leftover rain. Maybe can't rule out the possibility of a thunderstorm even going into our Friday. Notice tonight we drop down into the 50s. Tomorrow, we're up into the 70s. Some of the higher elevations still may not get out of the upper 60s. And notice as we start going into our Thursday morning and by the noontime hour, temperatures across every location should be up into the 60s. So a nice looking day tomorrow, pleasant, comfortable. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy it. A refreshing night tonight temperature-wise, generally 40 statewide. And again, 70s tomorrow, but maybe some of the chillier locations may struggle to make it out of the upper 60s. Here's a look at the 7-day extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, Division of Arc Electric. Some changes to the forecast for the weekend. Here are those changes. It's going to be dry and nice. Looks like temperatures should be in the lower 70s for both Saturday and Sunday. And of course, we still have that rain to deal with as we go into Thursday and Friday, and then early next week. we should continue to remain in the 70s. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 933, the big 4, 1987. Quinto numbers looking like this: 5, 2, 4, 2, 6, and the cash 5, 3, 5, 24, 30, and 39. Lisa.
Thank you, Joe. Coming up next, McAdoo Catholic School holds its final graduation. We were there. That story is next on Late Edition.
The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce welcomes all vendors and crafters to participate in the Downtown Hazleton Farmers Market beginning Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 20 West Broad Street. To become a vendor, call 570-455-1509 or email info@hazletonchamber.org. Community Services for Sight will hold the 5th Annual Festival of Sight June 8th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Community Park in Hazel Township. Entertainment, crafts, food, games, tricky trays, airplane rides, a car show, and more. For more information, call Lori 455-0421. Watch Off the Beaten Path and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed.
People have a very jaded opinion of contractors. At The Wire Guys, we completely turn that experience on its head. My electrician is going to show up and wear shoe covers, be respectful. We are the cleanest contractors that you'll ever use. Before he even starts, he's going to give you a price in writing that he's going to stick to. I want them to be your superhero when they walk out that door. Call me. If we're late, you get paid.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WILN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WILN TV 35. See the Major League stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WILN TV 35. Visit WILNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WILN, your home for live sports.
Welcome back. Graduation time is always an emotional time, but that was especially true tonight as the final graduation was held for one Catholic school in our area. It was an evening of mixed emotions, the joy of graduating from 8th grade and moving on to high school, and the sadness knowing that this will be the last class to ever graduate from McAdoo Catholic School in McAdoo.
Well, it is bittersweet. We're very proud of the kids who are graduating tonight. We know that they'll do well, and we hope that they carry the traditions of McAdoo Catholic wherever they go, as well as all of our students who will be leaving our school this week. And we hope that all that they've learned they'll take with them.
Sister Mary Sue Carwile is principal of McAdoo Catholic, which will close its doors forever at the end of this school year.
Many parents are sad and upset. And it's a loss. You can't deny that it's a loss. So it's painful. So we have to honor that pain and work through it and know that God will take us where he needs us to be.
We spoke with 3 of the graduates who were excited to be graduating and will always remember their friends made here at McAdoo Catholic.
First I went to public school and then I transferred here and I made a lot of different friends, like new friends, and all the teachers are nice and it's just like one big family. Nobody fights and everything. I'm really excited because I was only here for a year, but like I'm really excited.
It's like a family type of environment, and I just made a bunch of friends, and yeah.
How do you guys are basically the last graduating class, so how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's something special here this evening?
I'm disappointed that we can't come back, but it is what it is, and we got to move on.
Parents, faculty, and students did their best to raise money to keep the school open, but fell short. The Diocese of Allentown then made the decision to close the school at the end of this current school year.
I wish them the best of luck. I know they're going to be great wherever they go. They're a wonderful group of kids. And, I hope that they just follow their heart and live what they've learned here.
Congratulations to the graduates, and good luck to all of the students from McAdoo Catholic who will all be attending new schools starting this fall. Definitely a night of mixed emotions at McAdoo Catholic. We wish them all well. When we come back, Beth Mensinger is in with sports, talking about the Weatherly Hill Climb. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure exploring parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and it's free. This year's Passport has more than 30 stops. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre and Pittston. Explore the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them in on the website. Start exploring today.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WILN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky treats, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital, as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
Join us this week. It's the 1-hour special season finale of Women Today. We're going to tell you what we'd like to do this summer. Deb's going to get some self-defense lessons. Officer Bob Breithaupt from Butler Township Police Department is going to tell her how to get started. Lonnie wants to learn how to paint. Jane Bukowski from Martin's is going to tell her how she can get some lessons and give her some starter tips. Later, I'm going to get some golf lessons at the Eagle Rock Resort. Chris is going to get creative one last time, and you're going to get a sneak peek at season 4. It's all coming up this week on Women Today.
The spring edition of the 2013 Weatherly Hill Climb is inching closer and closer, and with each passing day, more work is getting done to prepare for the 2-day race. Today, we met a group of Hill Climb Association members, sponsors of the event, and a number of volunteers at the start line to talk about some of the things left to do in anticipation for the race.
This empty parking lot will soon be full, as all different types of modified cars with drivers excited to race them up the hill pull in for Hill Climb weekend. But in order for everything to be set, sponsors and volunteers are needed, and today, some of those who helped make the Weatherly Hill Climb what it is were recognized. Richard Kane is the vice president of the Weatherly Hill Climb Association.
The sponsors, we have a good group of full-page sponsors. They really help us out. Without them, we would never be able to put this event on. They pull their weight, and they really help us. And then you got the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts that really help us out too. They come down here and they do all the trash detail. During the week, clean the hill up, and they painted the picnic tables, all our painting, grounds work. They're a big help this week.
Mark Sitch and Cade Schock have been in the Scouts for about 7 years. Schock has helped several times in Troop 007's French fry stand. It's Sitch's second year behind the fryer.
I think it just helps people know more about the Boy Scouts and how we help
like to help people. It's pretty nice because you get to help out with like some of the racers, because we sometimes, when we were Cub Scouts, the racers let us go see their cars and look at the inside of them. It's pretty nice.
I think it's fun, and I can't wait for this weekend to come down here and work.
But once the hill climb is put into full motion, the people behind it all always say the hard work is worth it.
It's definitely worth it when it's all over and done with, and you sit back and you look at it, and all the people come up and say what an event it was, and they really appreciate it. It really makes you feel good.
If you're interested in finding out more about the hill climb, make sure you tune into Outside the Press Box, the preview show running this week right here on WYLN Thursday night and at 9 p.m. and Friday night at 6. And we, of course, will be at the hill climb both Saturday and Sunday, bringing you all of the action live. So if you can't make it to Weatherly, watch it right here on WYLN. Also today, another student from the Hazleton Area High School made the announcement she's continuing her education and athletic career on the collegiate level. Cassie Kozel held a major role on the Hazleton Area Lady Cougars track and field team, participating in both the 400 and 800 meter run and the 4x400 and 4x800 relays. She decided to take her talents to the track team at Misericordia University.
My high school career was outstanding. We broke the 4x800 record, the distance medley record, and I'm very excited to run in college. I just fell in love with the school as soon as I saw it.
While in high school, she did not participate on the cross-country team for the Cougars, but she will race cross-country for Misericordia, always while studying occupational therapy. Good luck to her. A football great has passed away. Find out who in the second half of sports coming up in a few minutes. Until then, stay tuned. Lisa has all your top story recaps next.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. Recently, I interviewed a constitutional attorney, and he made the point that one of the most important things we need to do to make government better is for state legislators to shore up states' rights. This week, I'm joined by State Representative Tara Toohill of the 116th District. We'll talk about liquor privatization, pensions, and the state budget, and what she is doing to enforce and enhance states' rights. This week on The Storm, only on WYLN.
Recapping tonight's top stories, a drug bust in Hazleton. 7 people are under arrest after the raid on this apartment building at East Diamond Avenue and Arthur Street. It started after 6 this evening. Police Chief Frank DeAndrea said it's been under investigation thanks to public tips.
It's the culmination of months of detailed investigation by the Attorney General's Drug Task Force, of which that's the Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit, who is instrumental in this. So this is an Attorney General case that is spearheaded by the Hazleton Narcotics Unit.
Several other people were handcuffed on scene but released after it was determined they were not involved. DeAndrea told us the investigation was assisted by the Attorney General's office.
We've received multiple and constant calls and complaints about several residences on Diamond Avenue, 454 to be one of them. In the past, there have been people at public meetings that were actually almost irate with me, explaining how blatant this drug dealing was and why aren't we doing something about it. And I smile inside knowing, oh, we're doing something about it. But at the same time, I can't ever openly come out and say, it's under investigation, don't worry about it.
The 7 were being arraigned tonight, though it wasn't clear where. A female officer was called from another department to search a female suspect. The raid did attract a large crowd of onlookers on East Diamond Avenue this evening. Emergency crews were called to a hazmat incident around 6:30 tonight. It happened on the exit ramp to McAdoo at mile marker 138 on I-81 North. These are photos courtesy of the McAdoo Fire Department. A tractor trailer carrying a transformer struck a Jersey barrier and was leaking oil on the road. The exit ramp had to be closed to allow for cleanup. One lane of 81 northbound was also down to a single lane in that area while the incident was being taken care of. Fire companies throughout the greater Hazleton area converged on the Eckley Miners Village this morning after flames broke out at a home inside this historical community. Ann Gownley reports.
This morning, a fire destroyed the home that George Guerra has lived in for nearly 86 years at 40 North Main Street in Eckley. Guerra was woken up by smoke detectors in his home and found the back of his house completely engulfed in flames.
The fire sirens awakened me, and I couldn't see anything. The smoke was so thick, I didn't know where the hell I was. I didn't know where my door entrances were or anything. So thick in my kitchen. That's where I was sleeping because I have another bed in the front room. I just happened to be in the kitchen. And I had trouble finding the kitchen because I never saw smoke so dense, so heavy. But I finally made it out the door.
A man working outside was alerted by the fire by a Schwann employee and helped Guerra get out of his home.
We came back up and seen the man at the door, but he was going back in. Couldn't see nothing behind him because there was that much smoke. But my partner, he went in there with a hose. I mean, a water hose didn't do much to do nothing with this fire. But he did the best he could, so we had to get out. And he kept the old man out safe. Made sure he had no animals in there, you know.
Guerra says with the smoke alarms installed in his home and alerting him to the fire, they also helped save his life.
I hope everyone would get fire alarms. Everyone. I have a couple of them spread throughout the house. So several of them went off because the smoke was tremendous throughout the entire house.
Foster Township and Freeland Fire Departments responded to the scene along with surrounding departments after Foster Chief Michael Spock called for a third alarm. With the low water pressure in Eckley, tanker trucks were also called in to help. One firefighter was taken to the hospital for heat exhaustion.
Well, with the heat and the low water pressure, it was very difficult. That's why we called the third alarm for manpower.
Guerra lived alone and the other half of the house was occupied. Guerra now plans to stay with family. An electrical malfunction was suspected as the fire's cause, according to fire officials, and a state police fire marshal was called in to investigate. For WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann, and that's a look at tonight's top story recap. When we come back, a major event to hike and bike in the Hazleton area. We'll tell you when and where. Plus, Beth is back in with the second half of sports.
It definitely was a nice day today outdoors. Will it be the same for tomorrow? I'll let you know with the 7-day forecast in just a few.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
What in the... Tom, it is 2 a.m.
You know, I just love this on-demand thing. Tons of extra choices, pause, rewind.
You are always here watching my on-demand. Why don't you just get rid of your dish and get digital cable yourself?
You know, I'd love to. but I still have 7 months left on my contract.
Service Electric Digital Cable with On Demand, the best TV in the neighborhood.
WILN Sports, broadcasting live June 8th and 9th at the Weatherly Hill Climb. WILN Sports will take you up the hill, past the Devil's Hook, around the hairpin turn, and through the Dutchman. All the turn-by-turn coverage of the Weatherly Hill Climb, live on WILN TV 35. Saturday, June 8th from noon to 4 p.m. Sunday, June 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. WILN, the station to turn to when you want live sports. WILN, we're your local network.
A fun and free outdoor event will take place this weekend at the Greater Hazleton Rails to Trails. Ann Gownley reports.
This year will mark the 10th annual hike and bike event at the Greater Hazleton Rails to Trails. Over the years, the event has grown from being held at the Lehigh Valley River to thank those who are developing what is now Rails to Trails to an event that brings nearly 1,000 people to the 4-mile trail in Hazleton that continues to grow.
It's a great event. It's a completely free event. You don't find many free events in any place anymore. And this free event, not only when a child comes up to ride his bicycle here, if he needs a bicycle helmet, we'll give him a bicycle helmet. We'll show him how to fit the bicycle helmet so he's protected, whether he's here on a trail or on the sidewalks in Hazleton or wherever he lives.
There will also be free food provided by multiple businesses in the area, along with plenty of entertainment. The hike and bike begins this Saturday at 11 a.m. and will run until 2 p.m.
Walk as far as you want to, see some of our amenities, our exercise stations, our environmental education area, or our other amenities along the trail. Come back around 12 o'clock noon. We will have the picnic started at that time. We also have a visit by the Carbon County Wildlife Center. They're bringing up critters that you would find along the trail. You'll probably have raccoons, fox, skunks. They didn't tell me exactly. Avians, maybe box turtles. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to bring up, but they're going to put a show on.
Skolsky tells us that those who visit the trail this weekend, whether it be walking or biking, will have the opportunity to learn some historical facts about the area and the trail itself from informational displays that will be set up throughout the trail.
As you go in from the Stockton Road, you're going to learn about the watershed, what a watershed is, and what the Drakes Creek watershed is. Off the trail, here at the front of the trail, we have a wetlands. You're going to learn about wetlands, and we have an ongoing grant that was funded through the Water Resource Education Network in the back of the front end of the trail here where we're putting in the streamside buffers.
Skolsky adds that they are expecting over 1,000 people this weekend and adds that it's a chance for people to come out and meet others who live in the area.
This event has just grown in popularity through the years. People just look forward to coming up. A lot of the trail users, trail users today is like the front porches of our city many years ago, and everybody used to sit out in the front porch, and that's how they get to know their neighbor. Well, this is how people get to know their neighbors now, coming and walking the trail. And we have all good people that come up here. We have a lot of visitors. We have geocaches hidden along the trail where it brings people in looking for the geocaches. Just a lot of good things to do.
Again, the 10th annual hike and bike at Rails to Trails will begin Saturday at 11 a.m. In Hazleton for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thanks, Ann. And Joe says the weather's going to be great, so hopefully a nice crowd will turn out. Well, Beth has your national sports next on Late Edition.
Everyone knows that Bottlenecks is the home of award-winning wings and mouth-watering steaks, but now a new, tasty reason to stop by. Brand new fire-grilled ribs. A half rack of meaty, fall-off-the-bone St. Louis-style spare ribs, fire-grilled to perfection. And the best night to give them a try is Thursday for Rack 'em Up Rib Night, featuring the delicious ribs served with bottomless fries for only $9.95. Bottlenecks is open 7 days a week. The kitchen is open till midnight every day. There's always a reason to stop by Bottlenecks.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family-owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all-vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
The Video Game Store. Buy, sell, and trade all classic and modern games and systems. 28 South Main Street in Wilkes-Barre. Open Monday through Saturday, noon till 6. Call 822-9929. WYLN TV 35 is looking to hire a highly motivated, energetic salesperson for the Hazleton and surrounding areas. We offer a competitive salary and benefits package. Call 956-5772.
Hall of Fame defensive end Deacon Jones has died. Jones was one of the Los Angeles Rams' heralded fearsome foursome in the 60s. Many judge him to be the greatest defensive end to ever play the game. Jones was the league's top defensive player in 1967 and 68 and was selected to the Pro Bowl 8 times. He was named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1980. He spent the first 11 years of his career with the Rams, wrapping up with short stints with the Chargers and the Redskins. Deacon Jones was 74. Penguins coach Dan Bylsma is promising changes after his team got belted 6-1 by Boston last night. The Pens are now down no games to 2 in the conference finals. However, he would not say who would start in goal. Tomas Vokoun, who's been solid through the playoffs, got yanked last night after allowing 3 goals on 12 shots, but Marc-Andre Fleury, who was benched early on, came on and got clobbered also, allowing 3 goals on 17 shots. Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina has appealed his 1-game suspension. Molina was suspended and fined for making contact with umpire Mike Everett during an argument Sunday. Molina was called out on a close play at first base in the game with the Giants. He threw his helmet to the ground but did not charge at the umpire or even face him when he threw the helmet, but Everett ran him immediately. His manager Mike Metheny defended Molina, saying he did not explode at the umpire and the ejection was improper. There is a new point shaving scandal in college basketball. Former Auburn point guard Verez Ward has been arrested for his alleged role in it. U.S. Attorney George Beck charged Ward with bribery relating to sports contests and conspiracy for allegedly trying to fix the point spread for the Tigers game against Arkansas on January 25th in 2012. A federal grand jury indictment of Ward was unsealed this morning. It does not list alleged co-conspirators, but said the scheme continued after that game. Beck says Ward offered to pay teammates to take part in the point-shaving scheme. Ward came off the bench in the 56-53 loss, but crumpled to the floor after playing only 19 seconds with an apparent leg injury. Auburn still covered the 9.5-point spread. The Brooklyn Nets are said to be considering Pacers assistant coach Brian Shaw as the club's next coach. The Nets are expected to request permission to interview Shaw now that Indiana has been eliminated from the playoffs. The Clippers have already contacted Shaw about their coaching vacancy. The Nets have also formally requested permission to interview Memphis Grizzlies coach Lionel Hollins and former Knicks and Rockets coach Jeff Van Gundy. The Toronto Raptors have a new GM. Masai Ujiri was introduced this morning. The NBA Executive of the Year with the Nuggets replaces Brian Colangelo, who remains the Raptors team president in a non-basketball role. One of Ujiri's first decisions concerns the fate of coach Dwayne Casey, who has a year left on his contract. New York Giants defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul had successful surgery to repair a herniated disc in his lower back. He's expected to require up to 12 weeks of recovery time. That means he'll miss all of training camp and most of the preseason, but should be ready for the Giants' regular season opener against Dallas September 8th. Pierre-Paul had been bothered by the nagging problem throughout last season. And Serena Williams came from behind in the third set Tuesday to advance to the French Open semifinals for the first time since 2003. Williams had been beaten the last 4 times she reached the Roland Garros quarterfinals, most recently in 2010. The 15-time Grand Slam champion won her only French Open title in 2002. Her opponent Thursday will be 2012 runner-up Sarah Irani. Now let's check out tonight's national scoreboard. First up in the Stanley Cup, it's the playoffs. Chicago taking on Los Angeles. The Blackhawks up 2-0, but the Kings leading in the second period 2-0. In the Eastern League, Fightin' Phils won both games in a day-night doubleheader. Senators lose to Bowie, and it took 12 innings for the Arrows to get the 3-2 3-2 win. In the International League, Pigs and the Rail Riders win. Russ Kanzler 1 for 4 for the Tides in their loss to Louisville. And in the majors, Red Sox blow out the Rangers 17-5. Yanks win over the Indians, and Joe Maddon's Rays, big loss to the Tigers 10-1. Twins, they are up in the 8th. The Orioles winning 3-1, and the Cubs and the Angels are tied at 1s. White Sox, they're trailing the Mariners 3-2. In the National League, the Phillies and the Marlins are tied at 3 in the 11th inning. Pirates and the Braves are tied at 4 in the 10th. The Rockies won tonight 5-4. Bottom of the 8th, Brewers trail the A's and the Cards, and the D-backs tied at 6. Both of these last games in the bottom of the 2nd, Padres leading the Dodgers and the Giants leading the Blue Jays. Joe's up next. Stay tuned.
Get your favorite taste of summer right now at Rita's. Rita's on the Airport Road in Hazel Township is open for the season. Try their new frozen lemonades and check out all your favorites, like gelatis, mistos, blendinis, milkshakes, and unlimited topping sundaes. Why choose one when you can have them all for one low price? Rita's is now open. Stop in today.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
It's going to be another cool night and comfortable night across our area. We're already down into the 50s, got up into the upper 60s and 70s in every location today. And before all is said and done, we have a shot of the possibility of getting down into the upper 40s and lower 50s out there tonight. So it definitely will be a comfortable day tomorrow as well, just like it was today. Another comfortable night tonight, just like it was last night. And it's going to continue to stay dry. Nothing to show you. Our Live 35 Skycast Doppler continuing to remain dry. 52 now in Mount Pocono, 60 in Allentown, 56 at the Avoca Airport, 60 in Williamsport, and 60 in State College. In the upper 50s up in the Wyoming Valley area. Winds, again, not too much of a factor, and they shouldn't be through the overnight hours. Just a few clouds here and there, so we'll go with clear to mostly clear through the overnight hours. Looking pretty good for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, some of those clouds will be on the increase, and then as we start going into our Thursday, we'll have to deal with some rain, some breaks in the rain, and going into our Friday, same holds true. For some more rain, maybe even a possibility of a thunderstorm. Good news is at this point, looks like that rain will be out of here for our Saturday. Looking like a fine weekend shaping up to be across our area. Comfortable. Nice for tomorrow as well. And by the ending part of the week, again, some rain heading in our direction. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys at Division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect going into the next couple of days across our area. Looking nice for tomorrow. We are up into the 70s, and then with the overcast skies and some of the rain that will be around as we go into our Thursday and Friday, that's going to lower those numbers a little bit, only in the 60s, and then up into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday. That, of course, is good because we have that Weatherly Hill Climb for both Saturday and Sunday. Of course, it'll be live here on YLN And looks good at this point. I'll manage, at least for now, to take out that rain for Saturday. Hopefully we can keep it that way the rest of the week.
I hope so. So we found out his secret tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, he
He's a dartboard in the back.
Cloudy, rain, sunshine, wind, I don't know.
Well, we were asking him for his secret to all of this. He's like, darts.
And I'm really horrible at darts, too. I just close my eyes and that's what you got.
Well, as long as it's okay for Saturday and Sunday, and those are perfect driving conditions for all the racers, so.
Yeah, for Pocono, too. And
we'll let
everything.
it slide.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide.
Well, you're doing a good job so far lately, so you must be practicing
Pretty good
getting
technique.
a little better.
I'm getting better at it as days go by, too.
Poor Joe, he puts up with us like this all the time. We drive him crazy. We're not the only ones, right? Have a good night, everybody. We'll be back to see what he tells us tomorrow.